Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tech Break by Friday. So, this week I want to start this episode by asking you a question. Are you the type of person who has multiple browser tabs open? And do you even try to manage your tabs? And maybe in a couple of days you forget where you read this? So, if you are, please comment down below. I just really want to find out who else is exactly like me and juggling through tabs in order to find which information was where. So, this week I want to host the second episode of the next web war about AI browsers. So, AI browsers are promising to solve this problem about tabs by having a personal assistant next to your browser and being able to see whatever you're doing. So, we are providing an intro to what is AI browsers and what is its technology about and how it can benefit us and what are the risks regarding that. So let's dive into it and let's start by what is an AI browser. So traditional browsers are like electronic libraries linked to URL, a link. So this link provides information about a topic or story or even hosts a platform where you can shop for food, books, fashion, plane tickets, and many more. So now if we take a look, an AI browser is built on top of a traditional browser but with access to certain AI features. Most of them have access to built-in models such as ChatGPT, Atlas, or Comet. Access to these LLMs offer you additional benefits. So now your browser doesn't just show you the information, but it can also AI searches for something in order to understand what is your intent when you search for a specific thing. It can summarize articles and websites or even blogs with only one click. Now you have access to writing tools inside your browser using the assistant mode. You can answer your emails using these writing tools or even write something small like a message or something from a specific blog in order to send it to someone that you want. You also tend to have more smart suggestions based on the task that you are actually doing at the moment in your browser. Another cool thing is that now you have an AI chat that it's built in your browser. So in order you don't just need to change your tab anymore and move on to a different tab to type something. You just have your browser open. You open also your assistant chat, and then your chat has context of what is in that specific tab. You also have access to extensions now, which I think this would be cool as more developers start building AI extensions for AI browsers, and we see a more unique way to solve problems in that end. And at the end of the day, you have an all-in-one workspace that it's context aware based on your history, your browser tabs, and you just don't have to tab switch anymore. You just can ask the assistant, what is this and where I have read it, and it can tell you basically. Let's move on to why this technology matters right now. In the era of AI, we see how many of us don't search for answers in the traditional way. Instead of going to Google or any other search engine, typing something and looking around for an answer, we tend to navigate towards LLMs. And I think most of you have a favorite LLM like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or Perplexity that you use to get information instead of browsing. This shift in our age is called by multiple tech analysts the zero click revolution. There is a shift in user behavior in how we find information, and the AI browsers are offering just that. Instead of using a regular browser to navigate to your favorite AI application, you remove that step, and the chat is already there. But speed isn't the only reason this matters. These new AI browsers offer significant accessibility benefits too, and they can simplify dense information for neurodiverse users, auto describe visuals for people with low vision, and instantly translate content for anyone, anywhere. As humans, we don't like friction. Our entire history shows how we innovate and we build to make our life easier. AI browsers reduce that friction because we can now automate specific tasks in our life. So let's dive into some of the use cases of these AI browsers. First of all, we have automated literature review. that you can use ChatGPT Atlas for that, the new AI browser from OpenAI. A PhD student is studying for sustainable energy tasks and asks Atlas to collect, summarize, and compare the latest research papers on hydrogen production, for example. Then Atlas scans across PubMed, ScienceDirect, and IEE papers. It compiles summaries by subtopic like catalyst design, safety, costs. The student reviews a clean outline with source links and auto generated citations formatted in APA style. This is just an example that you can use. Another use case that I like is the competitor intelligence that you can use Comet for this one, for example. A marketing manager wants to know how Tesla and BYD differ to the European EV strategies. So the user tells Comet summarize each company's latest press releases and investor updates. The browser searches and extracts insights and returns a two-page summary with graphs without opening a dozen tabs. This workflow replaces hours of manual desk research. So I use these companies as an example. Of course, you can use whatever companies you want and in whatever market or industry field you are. Another popular one is smart shopping. You can also use Perplexity Comet in that one, for example. So a small business owner is looking for a camera gear and asks Comet to find the best mirrorless camera kits under €1,000 and highlight review pros and cons. So Comet compiles like trusted reviews, filters spam, and even applies available promo codes before checkout. It creates a single page summary comparing quality, warranty, and user ratings. And these are only some of the use cases that you can actually um, utilize AI browsers, and you can also apply to your everyday life. So let me know if you try any of these on your everyday life, or maybe to research something for your studies or your work field, whatever you feel more comfortable in. So let's move on to discuss what are the benefits and what are the trade-offs in this case. So the benefits is okay, we mentioned it before, we have speed. So routine tasks like research, writing, scheduling now take seconds instead of minutes. AI automation cuts down tabs, chaos, and multitasking overload. Focus instead of distractions. AI distills key ideas. Basically, it means that it explains it down to the basic points, and it filters the fluff and lets you stay in research flow. You have more enhanced creativity, as some people have said, because with browsers like Atlas and Comet, you have built-in assistants that co-write text and analyze visuals for you, or you can brainstorm ideas um, with you at the same time. Accessibility. Generative AI makes web content easier to navigate, and real-time transcription, auto-summarization, on-screen voice help, and translation are already built in. As we mentioned before, neurodivergent people can actually use that to make their browsing easier, a lot easier actually. But there are also trade-offs. The big one is privacy. To know you, an AI browser must basically watch you, like they need to know what you're browsing through. And some studies from UCLA and Proton warn that some AI assistants are already collecting entire web sessions, including form data and personal details, to feed their models. This is a big privacy concern that we must all think about as we move on with this technology and we incorporate it more into our lives. What happens when we share so many data with our browsers and our browsers know so much about us? Another one is bias. Every AI model filters the web differently, and that means that what you see or you don't see increasingly depends on how your browser defines relevance at that moment. So, depending on what AI browser you're using, you might see some results that in another case you might not have seen. So, this has to do with like the bias of the browser, and also how is that bias defined. We don't know like if this is public information or not yet. And another one is trust. Once your browser becomes a decision maker, you're not just browsing the web, you're just delegating judgment. And in that case, you leave up a lot of your tasks up to your browser to be completed. And the thing is, how much trust do we have into these browsers that they will keep doing the best work like us, for example? So, this is a question that we need to basically think about and maybe answer in the future, as long as all the other trade off questions that we have asked here today. And that's the tension at heart of this story, like convenience versus control. It's not about who loads pages faster anymore, it's about who we can trust to think alongside us. Thanks for tuning in to Tech Break by Friday. If you find this podcast valuable, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen, and leave a review if you enjoyed this episode. Your support helps us continue bringing you the latest insights in AI and technology. As a Perplexity Pro user, this is not sponsored. I have a link for you. You can download Comet if you want to check it out by yourself, and you get 1 month Pro for free. So if you want, you can click the link below and you can download Comet and use it for free for 1 month based on my link because I'm a Pro user. So you can just try it out if you want to use an AI browser and you don't want to pay for any subscription at the moment. So until next time, keep creating and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.